And hello, everyone. Welcome to another power scanning session. It is already May 2nd, 2026. Oh boy, time really flies. And once again, it is time for us today to, look out for the most interesting swing trading setups for the week and the weeks ahead. My name is Daniel, and I'm greeting you today once again from our beautiful office here in Montreal. It's a really cold day today, especially for the 2nd of May. One more thing, temperatures are supposed to rise during this time of the year, but it was 4 degrees this morning and there's a frost warning coming up. Oh boy. Whew. Yeah, a ending cold period here in Montreal, but hopefully uh, in the next couple of weeks we're going to have some better weather. The F1 race is taking place in a couple of weeks and always a huge event in Montreal. And of course, the hockey playoffs are also taking place right now. Hockey is religion in Montreal. We had a game yesterday, game 6 against Tampa Bay. I was watching it live, live in a sports bar with some friends. Unfortunately, a loss, overtime loss, 0-1. And now we're heading to game 7, the final game, which will decide if Montreal goes one step further. It would be nice for the city. It always is a big boost for all the businesses and restaurants out here, but we'll see what happens on Sunday. I'll keep you guys posted. All right. So without further ado, let's get started. But before we do, where are you guys calling in from? Who do we have in the room today? Please share your location with me. Please put your location into the Q&A box. So let me see. Who do we have? Derek from Ottawa. Hey, Derek, how's it going? Frank from Den Haag, The Haag in the Netherlands. Hey, Frank, how are you? Nice to see you again. Andre from Berlin City is calling. Yeah, from Berlin. Nice. That's actually very close to where I live in Rostock, about 200 kilometers north of Berlin is where I was born in Germany. Art from Maryland, Frederick, Maryland. And what's the flying situation right now? Oh, he's been in flight sim all week. All right, well, it's mandatory to have some training. Of course, Art is our pilot out there. Art, I'm glad you're not with Spirit Airlines. Uh, yeah, I guess you guys have heard the story that Spirit has suspended all their flying, at least for the time being, due to very high gas prices. Linda from Orangeville, Ontario. Light snow in Ontario, boy. Jesus, yeah, I don't know what's going on. So cold. And Andre is saying Berlin is very hot and sunny. Yeah, very good for you, Andre. Aubrey is here from Cyprus. Hey, Aubrey, how are you? Slightly damp Cyprus. Yes, Cyprus, of course, always very warm. Uh, and yeah, we're all jealous of you. Daryl from San Francisco. Hey, Daryl, how are you? Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us so early in your day. And we also have John from Fort Collins, Colorado, joining us today. Hey, John, how is it going? All right, who else do we have? Alex from Sydney, Australia. Oh boy, what's the time over there right now? That must be a first. I don't think we had somebody from Australia in these uh, 12 o'clock Eastern sessions. I would imagine, well, I have no idea what time. I've been to Australia about 6 months ago, but I don't know what the exact time change is, but it must be quite the opposite. I would imagine somewhere in the middle of the night. Maybe you can let us know, Alex. What's the time in Sydney? Mike from Portland, Oregon. Good morning to you, Mike. 3 hours behind, so 9 a.m. in the morning right there. Hey there. And Erkan from Baden-Baden. Hey Erkan, nice to have you. Thanks for joining us for our prop trading challenge. I saw your email coming in. I'm going to get back to you after the session. Just didn't have time before. And Andrea from Horst from Munich. Horst, hey, Horst, how are you? Horst, I also received your email regarding the credit card change. I will get this done for you too. So, Horst, please bear with me. I've been quite a bit behind my email support. Lots of things have been happening this week. Lots of webinars. I think this is my 6th or 7th webinar this week in as many days. But I will catch up today, I promise. And Van from Tampa, go Bulls. No, of course not. Come on, you guys already have the Panthers there, the Lightning. Give us something, man. You've won the Stanley Cup, I don't know, at least twice as I remember in recent history. The last Stanley Cup win for Montreal, even though we have the most, but the last one dates back, I think, at least 25 years. I don't know, a long time. So no go Bulls. Bob from Alexandria, Virginia. Hey, Bob, how are you going? And Kevin is there from North Carolina. What's happening, Daniel Nicholas? Well, not much, just doing the same thing over and over again. And we also have Chris from Northern California. And Alex is saying 2 a.m. in Sydney. Oh boy. And it's the 3rd of May there already. Thanks for staying up late for us, Alex. Thank you so much. That's awesome. And Andre is saying Warnemünde is one of his favorite places. That's awesome. Actually, I live or my family lives in Dietrichshagen, little fun fact, which is about 3 kilometers away from Warnemünde. Yeah, it's basically walking distance, or you can bike there. And yeah, it's a nice place. I agree. Perfect. All right, guys, with this, let's get started. All right, so once again, today we will be looking out for swing trades today. Duration 1 to 20 weeks, give or take. The exact duration is not so important, but what's important about swing trading is that swing trades need to be actively managed. We recommend to check in at least once a day to see how your positions are doing, to see if there's a need to adjust them, perhaps close them, and so forth. So it's not a buy and hold investment, which you do once and then just keep it there for many years, perhaps. Swing trading or swing trades need to be managed. And what we will be doing today is our 13-minute scanning strategy. So why 30 minutes? Well, because it will take you just as much, maybe even less, to find interesting swing trading setups for the next trading day. This is something you can do every single day once the market has closed and once the new market data has been populated in our dashboard, in our scanner. You can run the strategy, you can run those scans to find interesting ideas. When the market reopens the next day, you will check, hey, how did the market open? Did we gap up or down, or our prices are approximately where they left off the day before? And if things line up, then just execute your trade either by perhaps buying or selling the underlying directly, or perhaps with options as well. Now, we are Trading Indicators. That's our company, and we have built a trading scanner for this purpose. And today we will be using this trading scanner to find these interesting swing trading setups. Just real quick about us. So tradingindicators.com is our webpage, our legal name. My name is Daniel here on the left-hand side, and together with Homer here in the middle, we have created Trading Indicators about 10 years ago now. And Niklas is in the room today as well. He has joined our company about 5 years ago, and he's become our lead developer ever since. And as our name suggests, we specialize on building innovative trading indicators. This is really our bread and butter. We've been doing this for many, many years. We have clients all over the world. We've built thousands of trading indicators for all major platforms: TradingView, NinjaTrader, ModifWave, Thinkorswim, TradeStation, and so forth. Most of what we do is based in technical analysis, which is basically a mathematical analysis of your price chart. We believe that certain patterns will repeat themselves in the future. And by finding these patterns and by interpreting how they may affect price in the future, we can find interesting trading setups in the process. And what we'll be doing today is we're going to use our scanner to find symbols and stocks which currently have these interesting setups for a potential swing trade when the market opens on Monday. All right. Now, I do need to remind you that trading does contain risk and therefore is not suited for every investor. If you trade, make sure to only use risk capital, which is money that you can afford to lose when it comes to backtest performance or hypothetical performance, or really anything based on historical price data. Keep in mind that this is not necessarily indicative of future performance, and any trade ideas and strategies and setups discussed in this webinar should not be construed as trade advice. These are for educational purposes only. All right, with this out of the way, let's cover a couple of housekeeping items real quick. So what we will be doing today is to scan for swing trading setups using our trade scanner called Liquidity View. It would be best if you followed along interactively as well. But of course, to do this, you will need access to our dashboard. Many of you have access to the dashboard, but if you are one of them who doesn't have access yet, you can sign up for a free trial right now simply by going to tradingindicators.com/view. Sign up there. You have to put your payment information there, but you will not be charged within the first week. You can cancel at any time. And once you sign up, you will instantaneously get access to it, and you can follow along in our scanning process. The link has been put into the chat, I believe. Let me just quickly see if it's there. It's already in the chat. Thanks, Niklas. And yeah, try it out if you don't have access to the dashboard yet. A couple of other things. We've recorded a very comprehensive boot camp explaining every single feature of the dashboard. It's about 3 hours long. We don't expect you to use all these features, but perhaps if you have the time, watch this bootcamp just to see what's out there. Then just pick and choose the features that are potentially beneficial for your trading process. So perhaps watch it once, then pick and choose, configure the dashboard accordingly with just the features that you need, and then you're all set. We also have a Discord channel at tradingindicators.com/Discord. Check it out. We're trying to build what's called a trading community where traders are helping other traders. The more traders participate, the better it will be. Check it out at tradingindicators.com/Discord. And finally, we also have an ebook called The Power of Three. You can download completely for free at tradingindicators.com/power of three. All these links have been put into the chat box. All right. Now, lastly, and then we're going to jump directly into the markets. If you have any feedback, good, bad, constructive, perhaps some suggestions, new symbols, whatever it may be, please share your feedback with us. Your feedback is what drives the further development of our dashboard. So please don't be shy. The more the merrier. Your feedback is always welcome. And all these features listed here, like new scans, a dividend scanner, new filters, trade notes, German language support, and so forth, all these come directly from you. So thank you guys so much for this. And please continue sending your feedback. All right. Now, let's start with our market review. What has happened in the last couple of days in the markets? I'm going to switch over now to our dashboard. There we go. And before we do, I'm just going to give you a quick preview of a feature which we will be releasing probably on Sunday, tomorrow, or maybe on Monday, depending on how our testing goes. So I'll show it to you real quick. This comes directly from a user suggestion. So I'm going to go to our development site here. The dashboard looks exactly the same, but it's on a different domain. And here we have now added a cool feature where you can now navigate the stocks in your list with your keyboard. So what I'm doing right now, you have to trust me on this, I'm using the arrow keys on my keyboard to navigate down and up. And as I do, you can see the chart is updated on the left and on the right-hand side as well. You see this one? A new row is highlighted. I'm going down. This is now possible with the keyboard. You can also use the keys to the left and right to jump to different pages. Look at this. I'm jumping to a new page. You can see it down here. I'll just move this away. See this one here? Jumping through pages. You can also configure in the settings. I'm going to discuss this more in our lunch and learn session on Tuesday. You can also configure what these hotkeys should be. You can see we have all kinds of options here. I'm going to show you all of this on Tuesday, but this is coming. And guess what? This feature came from a user request. So I think it was Kevin even. Kevin, was it you? Maybe I'm wrong, but it came from a user request. We've listened. We said, hey, this is a really cool idea. And now it's implemented and it will be released either tomorrow or on Monday to the actual live version. Okay. Now, back to our live dashboard here, and we're going to start with the SPY. And actually, sorry, one last detour, and then I promise you we're going to get to the market review. Let's have a quick look at the chart, which is typically opened first when you install the dashboard for the very first time. It's Apple. It just I just noticed it today. What's going on with Apple? Let's have a quick analysis of this stock because, of course, Apple is a huge company out there. It's a Mac 7 stock. Let's see what's going on. All right. So Apple, of course, has been in a macro uptrend for a long time. There was a quick trend change here, but overall, it's been bullish for a really long time. But it pulled back quite a bit from the all-time highs here, back from December 2025 all the way to this key support level. And we even pointed it out. This little box here. I think we drew this one maybe a month ago here. This could be an interesting long entry opportunity for a swing trade in Apple. And look what happened afterwards. Apple came up very nicely. It bounced off the support level here. And now, where are we right now? Right at this resistance level with a liquidity capture event on the very last candle. Now, if you are, or should you be in a swing trading position, I'm not talking about buy and hold. If you buy and hold, invest in Apple, don't do anything. You're very well positioned. But if you are in a swing trading position, or perhaps if you have some short puts on Apple, I don't know what you may have, but something less permanent, I think it might be prudent to look at booking some profits at this level, because what may happen at resistance, especially if this right now with the liquidity capture, we may see bounce off this level towards lower price levels. So just pointing it out there. Should you have a swing trading position, buy and hold is a different story. Keep the position there. But should you have one, perhaps it's a good idea now to book some profits. All right. So now let's finally go to the SPY, the ETF that tracks the S&P 500. So what's going on there? Well, the first thing you will notice is that my beautiful drawing, which I drew here, I think a couple of weeks ago, is still pretty much in play. So my hypothesis, my prediction, of course, I can be completely wrong. It doesn't have to be like this. You know this. Trading is, there's no certainties in trading. My prediction was that once we completed the V-shaped recovery, down and up, and we broke above this key resistance level, this green line here, I predicted, or my prediction was that we're going to see, first of all, a breakout move towards higher price levels. My prediction was around 720. We're at this level right now, followed by a pullback. And where? Back to the broken resistance level. And then we see another leg further up. That was my prediction, and I made this prediction based on what happened about 1 year ago. So if you go back here, I'm going to just hide Emmy Rush for a second. If you go back here, you can see that we basically have the exact same pattern 1 year ago. V shape right here. We broke above resistance. We initially went up, then the pullback. It happened. It was a level 3 pullback in the SPY, and then another move further up. Now, how does this translate to today? And of course, it doesn't have to be like this, but it's just a theory that I have. If you are looking for a swing trading position in the SPY, I personally would wait for a pullback, a level 3 or level 4 pullback, which probably will bring us down towards this price level here at 690, maybe 700. And then I would enter into a long position. Right here, right now, possibly not. I would not do this. I would wait for this pullback. 3 levels down or 4 levels down on trend radar, our market conditions indicator below the price chart. That's my theory for the SPY. We're going to see how this will pan out. Okay, so that was the SPY. What about the Qs? The Qs, of course, are always very much correlated to the SPYs. We can see it here. Yeah, also a V-shaped recovery, similar to what we saw 1 year ago. And what's interesting here, and I think this is directly related to the fact that tech stocks, they were lagging behind for quite a bit, especially in the beginning of the year. The tech sector was lagging behind, but as sectors are rotating, I believe we can look at the sector performance in a second. They caught up, and we can see this in the SPY by prices pushing higher and higher faster than the SPY. So if you overlay this with the SPY, just real quick, I'm curious of this. I'm going to put the SPY on here. What do we see? I'm just going to quickly hide the indicators just for 1 second. We can see here, tech, which is what's on the chart right now, is pushing higher. So tech is catching up. It was oftentimes ahead, but then the correction where the SPY actually was ahead, but now tech is catching up. You can see, percentage-wise, it's outpacing right now the SPY. And just real quick, just out of curiosity, I'm wondering, how is the tech sector doing? Of course, we do have the ability to filter just for the sector ETFs. And let's just look at the year-to-date performance of our sectors. Just 1 second, give me 1 quick second. I'm just going to hide some things here, so it's a bit easier to see. There we go. So this is all the sectors here, all the 11 sectors. And year-to-date, what are the strongest ones? Let's see. Energy, okay, no big surprise there. Materials, XLB, and then already tech. Tech was pretty much at the lower end for the first couple of months in the year, but they caught up. And we can see this now also in the QQQ, where prices are outpacing the overall SPY. And the last sector, it's healthcare, actually. Interesting. I think there's going to be a rotation here as well in healthcare. My theory is, and if you look at the chart, just here, actually, let me just take off the 1 second, the SPY, there we go, and put my regular indicators back on. We can see healthcare is hitting a key support level here at 142, from which it may bounce off from, and then the bullish trend that we saw in healthcare may continue. So that's my theory, at least. Okay, so let's continue our market review. What about the IWM, the Russell 2000 ETF? Have a quick look. All right. Also here, yeah. In fact, I was happy to see this happening last week. What did we discuss last Saturday? If you remember, we discussed that this gap here, this up gap from this candle to this one here, where this little rectangles, this purple rectangle, we hypothesized that, hey, this might get filled, or we may fill this gap. What happened here on Thursday or on Wednesday? We actually filled this gap almost to the T, and then prices jumped up again. This could have been a great opportunity to potentially look for a long position. It's our classic zone break retrace setup. And I think now here prices will push higher in the IWM. What about oil, USO, the United States Oil Fund? Okay, well, I stand by my word. Oil to me has become untradeable at current price levels. I do believe that, these super high prices, we saw all-time, well, not all-time highs, but new highs in on Wednesday, this last week. Price went all the way to 150, then retraced a bit down. But there's so much volatility involved in oil. If I put the RSI on it, just real quick to see how overbought or oversold we are. In this case, it would be overbought, the relative strength index. We can see that, actually, it's kind of interesting. I still think it probably will not sustain this level, but look what happened here. So prices made higher highs. Actually, let me draw this real quick. It's an interesting phenomena. So here we made higher highs. We can connect these levels here, but you can see, the high points have been going higher, also higher lows. This is kind of an interesting trend channel. But at the same time, prices went from completely overbought in the RSI to less overbought levels as it's making higher highs. So how this can be interpreted, I'm not too sure. It's not the classic form of a divergence, because for this, prices would need to be oversold, which they are not. But still, there's some sort of discrepancy out there. I'm going to try to see what an interpretation of this could be. This phenomena, RSI is dropping as we are making higher highs. So perhaps we can discuss this a bit more on Tuesday. But overall, USO is really hard to trade. Lots of volatility. Even using options in the in USO is not really feasible. I don't want to sell options and then be assigned at unfavorable levels, which might be the play because option premiums are very high at 10% premium for 30 days options at the money. So selling strategies maybe, but to me, it's just a bit too unpredictable what's going on here. And buying options, perhaps you want to do bet on the fact, hey, prices may be dropping in the future. Buying some puts maybe also not really feasible because options are really expensive. So yeah, a bit hard to trade. It's a bit easier when it comes to gold, GLD. I like it for a potential long opportunity. So prices came down last week a bit. I saw a couple of gaps here. We came down all the way to this ME rush line in the middle, coming close-ish to our 400 level here, this little blue line, which would be the ideal entry point for a long entry. It's a level 4 pullback on our trend radar indicator. And I'm going to measure quickly the distance. That's going to become important later on from up top here to the current price level, which is about 17% correction off the highs. It's nothing crazy. This isn't for a stock. This would be actually considered fairly shallow pullback, but for something that has been going on for such a long time, it was something substantial for gold. I believe this could be an interesting area to look for longs. I think we're gonna over time fill these gaps here. These are down gaps, and for this price, would need to come up all the way at least towards this intermediate resistance level at 492. So gold looks interesting, and the reason why I measured this is later on we're gonna see a gold ETF. A double leveraged gold ETF, which has a very interesting setup right now for a potential swing trade on Monday. We're going to get to this in just a bit. Okay, silver, SLV, and then we have Bitcoin to wrap it up, our market review. What's going on with silver? Yeah, also at an interesting spot. I think silver is finding a bottom here around the 65 and 60 area, this kind of level here. And anywhere in here, we had this situation on Wednesday, could be an interesting long opportunity. So I do believe that this consolidation pattern after this huge move up will continue for quite some time, and price will be oscillating between the lower end of this channel and the upper end. Right now, we are at the lower end, and I see this as a potential long opportunity to anticipate prices coming at least towards the upper end of this channel. And given the fact that this channel is quite broad, it's above 20 points broad, these are tradable setups. Trade enter down here exit near up here. That's a good gain that can be caught, or a nice move that could be caught if things pan out this way. All right. And finally, we have Bitcoin, BTC. Let's have a look here. Okay, so where do we stand here? Prices are holding above the key level of 74,000. I was happy to see this. We came down a little bit, exactly to 74,000, kind of a zone break retrace setup, but then a nice recovery on Thursday and on Friday. Now prices trading at about 78,000. At least the Friday close was there. And the live price right now in Bitcoin, yeah, even a bit higher, 78,500. So prices are continuing to grind higher, and as long as we stay, at least in my view, above these two levels here, this cluster of former support and resistance, we're going to stay above this. I think the bulls slowly will regain control, and prices have a chance to, come back to where they were around the, 94,000 level, or perhaps even here the 97,000 level, and then eventually potentially getting to the high points as well. So there's some encouraging signs here in Bitcoin. All right, and before we get to the actual scanning process, let's have a quick look of how we did last week with our watch list. As you know, every week we're putting together a nice watch list of interesting symbols. Let's see how this one panned out. I'm going to go down here to our watch list, and that's the one here from April 25th. What did we see here? All right, so I'm going to go through these one by one. Hamid Aerospace, number one. This came down exactly to our entry zone, and we wicked down here. And the idea is we're going to be bouncing off, to the upper price level. And we entered in this trade based on a level 3 pullback as per trend radar, knowing that there's a good chance that prices will not come down all the way to the support level down here, and we may need to enter a bit earlier on the pullback as per our trend radar indicator. This has worked out not bad so far. So the next one was Citibank, C. Also here, this was a zone break retrace setup. We broke buff resistance with an up gap. This up gap has been filled. That was always our condition here. We wanted to see a pullback to fill this up gap here. It's been filled on, I believe, on Thursday. Well, barely filled. Maybe we're going to see a little move further down. And now this could be a really interesting long entry opportunity since this gap has been filled. So here, this move is just about to pan out. So anticipating prices to continue to the upside afterwards. LDO. I think this one we skipped. This was a stock in Italy on the Milan Stock Exchange. This came down to this level, but I see we didn't put a trade note here, so this was not part of our ideas. Then we had STB. That one definitely was the store brand ASA. What a move! Once again, this stock did not disappoint. We had it once again here when this was previously we had this stock here. Now we retraced back to the support level, and look at this nice move up afterwards. So I'm not sure if anybody took that trade. If you did, please put a comment into the Q&A. I'm going to investigate on Monday how when I say how somebody who's not in Norway, this is a stock on the Oslo Stock Exchange, could potentially trade such a stock with Interactive Brokers. That's our broker, which tracks all kinds of stocks around the world. So this is tradable, but I believe you need to sign perhaps special agreements to be able to invest in this market. I'm going to get to the bottom of this on Monday when the market opens. Okay, MCK McKesson was another stock that we picked at an interesting level right here at this key support level, anticipating a bounce off this level. It hasn't happened yet, but we just got to the proximity of this level. So this is very much in play. Still, the Hartford Group. All right. Also, an interesting setup here where prices came down towards support, or this resistance level here, which is now acting as support. And here we also anticipated a nice bounce off this level. It has happened to some degree. It was a nice move here on Monday. I still anticipate prices here to continue grinding further up. And we had IM Gold. Yeah. Not much happened here. We're still in the vicinity of this key support level. If you're not in this trade yet, this is still an interesting consideration to potentially now getting into a long position, anticipating we're going to be bouncing off this level towards higher price levels. And GE Electric was the last one I believe that we picked. Rinse and repeat, we said. I remember this from last week. Same pattern. So we had this pullback. Prices recovered very nicely. This was tradable. And now another one, almost exactly to the same price level here. And we said, hey, we may see a bounce again. And this bounce has been panning out so far quite nicely. So overall, I'm quite confident, or quite content, I should say, that with my picks from last week. Not every stock has seen its move yet, but there's still potential, I believe, in almost every single setup that we picked to see the move in the next couple of weeks. And as you know, a swing trade sometimes takes a bit longer to yeah, to unfold, so to say. All right. So, Nicholas, do we have any questions?
Let me take a look here. I know we have one, which was with regards to trading views. So, Rajiv, um, is the Liquidity IQ scanner in TradingView? Well, TradingView, the thing there with one IQ and why Liquidity IQ scans don't seem to perfectly line up with the chart is you can only reference certain time frames in the current beta version of the Pine
Yeah.
screener. I think it's still in beta. So the chart's
Yeah.
going to be a little different, but it's fairly close.
And just to expand on this a little bit, so TradingView has this Pine scanner. Let me just quickly show you so you guys see what Rajiv is referring to. So you have TradingView here, and if you go to products, you will see on the screener a Pine screener in beta mode. And that's great. So you can scan for stocks here based on your indicators. For example, Liquidity IQ, some other indicators that you may have. And Rajiv is saying, hey, it doesn't always line up with what I see on the chart. And the reason is the Pine scanner, for its scanning process, only I think loads about a year worth of data. Sometimes that's not enough to calculate these loads as the indicators do once the whole chart is loaded. That's one of the reasons. Okay.
Okay, and then what else do we have? We have some symbol requests. Daniel, which level did you say you want Bitcoin to stay above? 78,000?
76. Yeah, it's this level here. 1 second. BTC. Yeah. 1 second. Yeah, it's this whole cluster here. So in fact, 74,000 is I think my breaking point. This is really where I wanted to stay above. So it's this level right here, this 74,000 level. If we go below, we're back in the soup, as the option professor would say. So I really want to stay above and ideally, really clear this entire cluster of support and resistance here.
Thank, thank you. And which settings are you using for Liquidity IQ? The default ones on the dashboard, which is
Yeah.
basically the default ones on any platform referencing the chart
Yeah.
time frame, and it's on a daily chart. It's the
Yeah,
default settings.
I don't touch the settings here in the dashboard. They're exactly the same as they come with the dashboard. The main reason for this is that the scanner in here would not update if you change the settings in the indicator, because the scanner, it's all pre-calculated at the end of the trading day, based on the default settings. I always want the scanner to be in sync with what I see on the chart.
And Moshe, I believe, uses Thinkorswim. So if they seem a little different, it's because Thinkorswim has limited time frames, so we can reference there. It's a bit different. And Chris says, hey guys, just a call out to the great power of your indicators, soybean oil ZL with trend radar and liquidity IQ. I guess gave a
Yeah,
good setup.
that's so funny you're
Gone
saying
up
this.
like crude oil.
Yeah, that is so funny. We had our prop trading onboarding webinar yesterday. For those of you who joined, thanks for joining. And in fact, I showed what I've traded in my own prop trading challenge on the last week. And yeah, lots of soybeans trade there for me as well. Chris, that's perfect. Uh, yeah, that was you know, what's the cool thing about our indicators? They work just on any symbol, and you can be really selective and wait. Hey, right now this particular symbol has a great setup. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be soybeans or corn or I don't know, whatever it might be. And as long as the setup is technically valid, you can trade it. Yeah.
Thank you. And last comment here, Anne says, this is all new to me. Interesting. Is there a Discord or is it a standalone app? I've just put all of the links again, and you can see them
Yeah.
in the chat. So this is our standalone dashboard, but we do also have a Discord.
Yeah, and you find a link to try out the dashboard also in the chat. It's tradingindicators.com/view. You can sign up for free for a full week. And then yeah, you can try it out. And we also have a boot camp. All these things are in the chat. So maybe copy them from there into your notepad or a Word document so you don't have them for the future. All right, perfect. And real quick, Alex is saying he's doing he did a call credit spread on Apple. Okay, let's have a quick look. That's interesting. And then definitely going to start our scanning process. Just want to see what your thinking was there. Real quick, since we mentioned Apple, call credit spread. Okay. Yeah. That's a bearish play because you would sell calls was your primary move there. Um, Anticipating, hey, prices cannot sustain this level, and you collect the premium. And if prices stay in the vicinity, don't go up too far, so you will keep the credit you've taken. The only thing, Alex, I was wondering is that the heat index for Apple is so little. It's 1.96%, meaning you would not get much a premium for your sold call. Was this something you were aware of, or you didn't care? You just say, hey, Apple can't sustain this level. I'm just gonna do a short play. I guess you didn't want to short Apple outright. Of course, that's something that's a bit more risky. But yeah, perhaps something you can maybe let us know in the Q&A. All right. Okay, and Aubrey, a bearish divergence on USO. Yeah, is it really? Because we're getting to less overbought on the RSI. We don't have it here anymore. So we're making higher highs and higher lows, but we're getting less overbought on the RSI. It's kind of a strange divergence. I'm not sure if the interpretation would be bearish of this, but I want to take this one away and perhaps discuss it a bit more in our lunch and learn session on Tuesday. All right. So with this, let's start our scanning process. We're going to get to all the other questions just a bit later. So what will we be scanning for today? I promise you right now, there are some really interesting candidates there. Not every week we have the same candidates, but this time, some really nice ones. I was really content when I did my preparation before this webinar. But what are we scanning for? I'm going to keep it really simple. First off, we are looking for long entries. We want to buy a symbol. We want to buy a stock, anticipating the stock to go up. And a precondition for this is that this symbol that we might be finding, or the symbols that we might be finding, are already in a sustained and long-lasting uptrend. The longer, the better, and the more the more constant, the better. The more smooth it is, the better it is. So I would like to see a nice uptrend where the stock has been grinding higher over time for as long as possible. And of course, in a trend trade, there are good moments to enter into a trend trade, and there are not so good ones. And what we find is a good moment to look for an entry is after we've seen a pullback. The prices are coming down a little bit, and ideally, this pullback is exactly in the sweet spot. We call this one the healthy pullback. And to us, in our view, a healthy pullback is either 3 levels down, 1, 2, 3, as per our trend radar indicator, or 4 levels down, 1, 2, 3, 4 levels. That's in the sweet spot. It's not too big and not too small. If it's too small, it's not meaningful enough as a pullback. If it's too big, there's always the chance that we're going to see a full trend reversal. So level 3 to level 4, that's right in the sweet spot. We'll be looking for this. And thirdly, in an ideal world, we want this pullback to coincide with a technical level on the chart. Either a support level, the price came down here to this key support level, or a former resistance level. We see it here, price broke above this resistance level, initially went up, then the pullback. We are coming down back to the broken resistance level, which will now act as support, and prices are accelerating to the upside afterwards. That's the idea. And we can scan for exactly this. How do we do this? Well, let's go to our dashboard. I'm going to enter these scan criteria now into our scanner. And before this, I'm just going to hide a couple of things here. One quick second so we can have a very clear view. And then we're going to discuss later on. Perfect. Some of the other elements as well. So how do we scan for these setups? So criteria number 1 is we want to be in a sustained uptrend. And for this, we will be using our trend radar, our MA rush indicator, which shows us these labels on the chart, either bullish or bearish. Whatever the last labels on the chart, this shows us the current trend direction. So this is done by our MA rush indicator. And if you go to our scanner here, you will find a scan column called MA rush, this one here. And to the right of it, you have a filter symbol, and you can select, hey, scanner, show me all the symbols, which, for example, have been in an uptrend for at least 500 trading days, for at least 500 candles, where this label here is at least 500 candles back. could use this one here. Let me just do this one, and we can see this goes in the blink of an eye. We can see of our 6,202 stocks that we're tracking, 972 of these stocks are currently in such an uptrend. Like Technic FMC here. Look at this one. Actually, this was our trade idea, I think, from 2 weeks ago, where we had this pullback, level 3 pullback, and we said, hey, this could be an interesting long. Look how this one has panned out. Beautiful. Happy to see this one here. All right. But would we enter right now at this level here? I personally would not. I would once again, also for this stock here, wait until we see a meaningful pullback. Like level 3 levels down, 1, 2, 3, or perhaps 4 levels down. Like here. This is what I would be waiting for. And we can scan for this. So FTI is not applicable for entry for next week, at least according to our criteria, but there will be some stocks which are applicable. We can find these by using this pullback scan here. Pullback, use the filter and select either level 3 or level 4. And we can see now that of our 6,202 stocks, only, in quotes, 141 stocks are currently experiencing such a pullback of either 3 levels or 4 levels down. For example, let me just find one here. The Range Resources Corporation, 3 levels down. All right. You can see it here, 1, 2, 3 levels down as per our trend radar indicator. In fact, this one is struggling with this resistance level here. So would we enter right now long? Probably not. We're right at resistance. Probably not the best time to enter in RSC. What we want, in an ideal world, we want the stock to come down to a technical level, not just be below a level. Want to be above a level. This level would give us support, and then we can anticipate a move further up. So how can we find these? Well, we can use our Liquidity IQ setup column here, the scan, and pick, for example, long bounds. Long bounds means, like in the case of PH here, we just came down to a red level, support level. Beautiful. That's a great setup. And the second one I typically choose here is long break retrace. For example, in this case here, mbk.wa, mbank, where we first broke above resistance, we initially go up, and then the pullback down to the former resistance level. Anticipating now prices are going to be bouncing off this level towards higher price levels again. So this is what I like to scan for. And you can see here, we found simply with this scan 11 symbols. I'm telling you, all of these, or the vast majority of these ones, are really, really interesting. And just to go through those in order, one thing I like to do as my last piece in my scanning process, I like to sort by trend duration. I mentioned in the beginning, the longer a trend has been going on, the better it is. So I always sort by clicking on this column here from highest to lowest, focusing first on the stocks which have the longest uptrend. In this case, Parker Hannifin Corporation, a defense company in the S&P 500. Beautiful stock. It's been a sustained uptrend. Now, testing key support here with a liquidity capture event at the last bar. If you remember, these events are special events on the chart where a candle comes close to support, and this candle has abnormally high volume. And this could be interpreted in the way that, hey, there's sort of buying interest at the current level. And if that's the case, then potentially this will drive prices further up. And you could think of it, hey, when such an event occurs, the chance of seeing a bounce, which is what we want, are greater than the chance of a break of the level to the downside. Now, these events they can happen at support, but also at resistance. Look up here. The last resistance liquidity capture event happened up here. What happened afterwards? Bang, huge bounce off this level. So now we have this bounce here. This could be potentially an interesting idea for a long trade. So I like this one a lot. I'm going to add this as our first candidate to our watch list. So as I do every week, I'm creating a watch list with our swing trades. I'm going to go to my watch list creating tool here, create. I'm going to call this weekly swing trades. Call in 2026 0502. It's already May. It's really cold in Montreal today. We had 4 degrees this morning, centigrade. Boy. Anyways, It doesn't feel like May. So this watch list is created. I'm going to add the Parker Hannifin Corporation to our watch list. I'll do one more thing. I will share this watch list with you. I'm going to use this share button here, and I will unshare the watch list from March 28. Done. Perfect. Alrighty. Okay, so that was the first stock. I really like it. Possibly our trade of the week in our newsletter on Monday. Possibly. All right, next one. mBank, a bank in Warsaw. And you can see there's lots of foreign, not all of them, but many foreign stocks in here. I want to investigate on Monday how easy it is to invest into these, in quotes, foreign stocks, which are not US, not on the European stock market, which are the two biggest ones, but which are well, when I say European, are not traded in euros or US dollars. So I'll let you know how this will work out. But this one is also interesting. Long-term uptrend, you can see it here. Now the pullback down to this former resistance level. And also here we may anticipate a bounce of this level towards higher price levels. And by the way, this stock here, you may say this is a very high price. Well, this is not in US dollars. The currency, we have a currency column here as well. In this case is just exchange, is PLN, Polish zloty. Okay. Next one. Banco Santander Chile. It's traded on the New York Stock Exchange. I guess it tracks the Santander Bank in Chile. Santander, obviously, a really big bank in Spain, but also South America and Latin America. And you can see it here, beautiful pullback down to the support level. Potentially, I think price will come down just a bit further, maybe more into the vicinity of the support here. But yeah, I like this one a lot also for a long entry, anticipating a bounce off this level. So we're going to add this one as well to our watch list, just like mBank. I think I forgot to add this one. Perfect. All right, next one. ANZ Group Holdings Limited, an Australian company. Let's check it out. Also, this one is currently testing support within a strong uptrend. Let me just go back a little bit further. Long-term uptrend here, testing key support. I think it's an interesting long opportunity here as well. So I'm going to add this one as well to our list. And you'll see pretty much everyone in this filter are really interesting for a long entry. Kraken Robotics. All right. That's an over-the-counter stock at a very low price point. Has been also here in a long-term uptrend, now testing key support. I think this one, given it's an OTC stock, maybe only use your your most risk capital, like the capital reserve for the most risky trades on this one. But yeah, hitting support here within that long-term uptrend, level 4 pullback on trend radar, potential long entry, and these smaller price stocks, they always have the opportunity to really jump up to higher price levels because they're still lower price. So perhaps an opportunity for a longer term investment here. So I'm going to use this one also to our list. All right. UGL, Pro Shares Ultra Gold. All right. Let's go back to our measurement of GLD. Remember, we measured gold, GLD in the beginning, and we noticed like top to bottom in GLD. Actually, let me put GLD up here in this other tab. GLD was about 17%. So this is GLD, the ETF that tracks gold prices. So we measured real quick from top to the current price, in fact, around 17%, 16.96. Now, back to the other ETF. UGL, Pro Shares Ultra Gold, is a double leveraged gold ETF. It tracks gold prices through derivatives like futures and options and so forth. It's double leveraged. What does that mean in terms of its movements? So right now we saw a fairly big retracement from top to bottom. How big do you think this one will be in the double leveraged gold ETF here? We had 70% on regular gold, GLD, which is not leveraged. And then we had, how much do you think we have in here? A little quiz question. It's going to be twice as much. Let's measure it out. So up here from top to the current price, look at this, 35%, twice as much. It's double leverage, meaning if gold prices drop, you will lose twice as much if you're long position. But if they go up, you will also win twice as much. I kind of like it. You can get into a gold trade basically with double leverage without having the need of using a margin account. So to me, interesting stock. I'm going to add this for sure also to our list. All right. Next one, die Mobimo Holdings AG Aktiengesellschaft. Look at this. Beautiful. Telling you. I don't know. This week I shouldn't say too much, but look at this beautiful uptrend here, down to support here. Yeah, another interesting long idea here on the Swiss stock. Adding it. All right. All right. Perfect. And perhaps one more. I know I don't want to do these two gold ones down here because we already have a gold idea. Credit Corp Ltd, BAP. Yeah. Also here, the stock is in a consolidation phase, finding a bottom here in this potentially sideways consolidation at the lower end. The stock is in a long-term uptrend. We could anticipate also here a bounce off this level towards higher price levels. I like it. And lastly, it's gonna be our last one here. It's the Grupo C Best SA. I'm not sure what this one actually tracks. Let me go to my Colombia. Okay, okay. Interesting. Yes. I talked to somebody from Colombia the other day, and she said that, hey, Colombia and also Paraguay is some of the really hot countries currently to look for investments. Maybe the coincidence, probably it is. But yeah, this also looks like a beautiful setup. Nice retracement in this long-term uptrend. So I'm going to add this one here as well. So I think I'm pretty content with that list. Let's just summarize real quick. Which swing trades have we found so far? This is what's on our watch list. And then we're going to get to your symbol request. And Alex, thanks for sending this information. I'm actually going to review this a little bit offline. Nicholas, can you copy paste the credit spread that Alex did into our Slack channel? I want to review this after the webinar and maybe discuss it on Tuesday in our lunch and learn session. Thanks. Actually, do this real quick. Just gonna put this in here. Okay, perfect. All right. So first
Sorry,
one.
Daniel, were you asking if there's questions? I cut out for a second.
Oh no, I just said copy please the comment from Alex into our Slack channel. So I want to review it offline
okay.
afterwards. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so Parker Hannifin, love it. Very interesting setup, especially also with this down gap here, which needs to get filled. We filled this up gap here. So interesting. These gaps can be so telling sometimes. So here we had an up gap. Up gaps are bearish plays. They tend to get filled over time. Well, prices went up. That came all the way down to fill this gap. That's completed now. Check. Do we have a check mark here? 1 second. Do we? 1 second. No check mark. Whatever. I wish. Do we have a check mark? No. X check mark. It doesn't matter. Oh, here. Done. Bang. This gap has been filled. Okay, huge check mark, whatever. Now, that's good because it came down to fill this one. But this gap here, it's a down gap, and down gaps are bullish plays, has not been filled. And as mentioned before, gaps tend to get filled over time. But what needs to be happened to fill this gap? Well, I think we need to come out at least to this price level here. I like it a lot. I'm going to add it to my trade notes. All right. Perfect. Let's go. Done. Okay. mBank. Yeah, I like it for a long break retrace setup, adding it as well to our trade notes. And I will try to discuss on Tuesday in our lunch and learn session what my experience is to actually trade these stocks, which are not in the main markets, not on the New York Stock Exchange and not in the key European markets. I will share this experience with you afterwards. So save it here as well. The Banco Santander Chile, that one is traded on the New York Stock Exchange, so no issues there. Beautiful setup for a long trade. I think prices may come down a little bit further here, and then this could be a really nice long entry. So I'm going to add this as also to our trade notes. Perfect. All right. And next we have the ANZ Group Holdings. It's Australian stock. Also long-term uptrend. Last bar down to support with a liquidity capture event. Also here, I would anticipate a bounce towards higher price levels. Same thing. Put to the trade notes. Safe. Kraken Robotics. Yeah, that's, again, maybe if your riskiest risk capital, look for an entry here at this key support level, because you never really know with these smaller companies what may happen there. They do underwater robotics equipment. So yeah, long-term uptrend, also nice pullback here. UGL, double leverage gold ETF. If you're not comfortable with double leverage, just use the GLD instead, which is single leverage. I kind of like it because I have a strong belief that gold will be trading higher in the interim in the next weeks and months. And if they do, you can double benefit from these double leveraged ETFs. Adding this one as well. All right. Mobino Holdings AG. Ah, what a beautiful uptrend that is. Look at this. I mean, it can't be much more smooth than this. Would you agree? Very strong uptrend. Love it. With a liquidity capture at the last bar. Definitely adding it to our list. Sometimes when I sound so confident, things don't work out so well. So I don't want to jinx anything, but I'm really content, at least right now, in this moment with these picks. So they actually look all really nice. Some weeks we had like setups that kind of it's a setup, but not the cleanest one. But this time, all the setups we found, they're pretty clean. Okay, Criticorp Ltd, same thing. At support here, I'm just wondering, did we have this one before? Yeah, look at this. We actually had this one back. Oh boy, that's a blast from the past. Back here on November 30th, 2024, we had this one on our radar. Just quickly see where were we back then. These were the days 2 years ago. 24 here. Look at this. What a trade this would have been. It doubled up since then. Great. Yeah. I've got a new trade note with today's chart to our system here. And this is the beauty of trade notes. You can remind yourself what has happened many years ago. I completely forgot about this one. Truth be told, but the trade note just reminded me. And now, since I have at least two trade notes here, I can navigate. I can go back to the one here, see what happened here, and I can go to the one today. And ideally, you put a little explanation here as well of what exactly the setup was. Some written notes as well. And you can even dictate your notes. I'm not sure if you knew this with this dictation part here. You can actually say what you were thinking when this chart was discussed. All right. And lastly, we have the Grupo Cbest SA, the Colombian stock. Also this one. And a nice setup here. Hitting support. I like this one as well. Ideally, I want prices to come a bit closer to our entry zone here, like this. But nonetheless, the setup is already valid the way it is. Maybe scale into a position in this case. Perfect. All right. Very good. These are the setups that we found for this week. And now it's time for your symbol requests. Are there any, Nicholas?
Yeah, we have one. Let me scroll all the way up. Let's start with SOUN, please.
Yeah, and just before I do, I just saw a comment by Aubrey. Thanks, Aubrey. He says he has exposure to CIB since September last year. Where's that? September last 2024. Oh, here. Yeah, nice. Nice. Good move up. Okay, great. Maybe a chance to invest a bit more into this position. Okay, so Nicholas, what was the symbol?
SOUN.
All right, SOUN. Let me go here. Oh, Soundhound. Okay, this one, right? Okay, yeah, bearish for 33 trading days. All right, hitting support right here. And we saw a nice bounce off the support level, but yeah, the trend is bearish here, which is a bit of a warning sign. So we went bearish here. We hit support. The bounce was nice, but now we're right at this resistance level. And for the bulls to get back in charge, I really would like to see here that we clear this level completely. Right now, we're still in the mix of it. And we even had a liquidity capture at the last bar here. So I know I'm still a bit skeptical. Maybe this was just a retracement in this bearish move here. And then we're going to see another move further down. Yeah. All right. What else
We
do we
already
have?
look at USO.
Yes, we did. Oil, USO, we did.
We did? Okay, then the next symbol is IBM.
Okay, perfect. And Mike, I'm not sure, Nicholas, if you already commented on this one. Yeah, we will send you an email afterwards.
Yeah, I wrote it in our Slack.
Perfect. And we have the email address too. Perfect. Okay, Nicholas, what was the symbol? Sorry, I'm
IBM.
Oh, IBM, yeah. Uh, Homa used to work for IBM. Actually, myself as well. Back in the day, oh boy, maybe 27 years ago, I did an internship at IBM in San Jose in California. It's a great experience. I was still a student back then in Germany. But yeah, okay. The stock IBM, yeah, looks it's in a long-term uptrend, hitting support here. Uh, and yeah, I mean, I think like many big companies have been struggling a bit. Big retracement here, now near support, and one can hope that this is the bottom here in this retracement. I believe IBM is one of these companies that's of like too big to fail. And if this is the bottom here, and of course entering now near this bottom could be a good idea, especially if this up gap which might get or this down gap here which might get filled over time. And yeah, I mean, it's not the cleanest swing trading setup because the pullback here is quite big. We actually went bearish here on trend radar for quite a bit. Well, the overarching trend, because trend radar has a smaller look back period, is still bullish. So bullish for many years now in IBM. Let me just quickly see how big was since April 2021. Let me just quickly measure something just for the fun of it. How big? Where was the last big correction that we saw? That's maybe this one. How big was this one? Just out of curiosity, from here to here. It looks very small, but since the prices were low at the time, so 19%. Yeah, it's not as big. And the correction right now here is how big? From top to where we are, approximately 30%. It is a sizable correction, but the hope is that hey, this could be the bottom. So yeah, maybe carefully uh, build a position IBM. And of course, if you buy and hold, then maybe your prediction will be over time IBM will recover. I think there's a good chance for this because it's been a long-term uptrend. From a swing trading point of view, I would be a bit careful maybe because this move was quite sizable to the downside, and whether this will be a bottom or not is a bit more uncertain in this case, I would imagine.
Next symbol is going to be XWEL, XWEL.
XWEL. All right. Short bars, meaning we are near resistance. Let's check it out. Oh, that's also a low price stock here. To see where we're coming from with Axwell. Are they just IPO'd recently? Oh no. Oh boy. Didn't we have this one? Oh my goodness. What is where are we coming from here? That's a kind of a crazy stock. Look at this. Wow. I don't really have anything to say about. Jeez. Why are you thinking about a long? How's the stock still in business? Can it be possible?
There's another symbol brought up by Whoa.
Jesus, look
Brought
at
up
this.
what the hell? Brought up by
I
Kevin called LUNR.
yeah, oh my.
Maybe that's just messed up data from a split or something.
I don't think so, because then it would just be very jumpy. But yeah, it's maybe something to the bearish side, but I have no hope in this stock. This is a crazy downtrend. Yeah. Okay, what's the next one?
LUNR. So maybe by seeing this one, we'll get a feel
LUNR.
for what Kevin's thinking.
Okay, 25.60. This should be, I guess, a bit better. Okay. So that's a bit more of a reasonable stock here. Oh, Jesus. What? Intuitive. Wow, there must be some big spike up to 134, maybe some kind of short squeeze. What a move down. And wow, now it's more stabilized. We broke above resistance here. Now the retracement back to the resistance level, which could be our zone break retrace setup. And yeah, potentially for a long, anticipating, hey, after this correction, level 2 correction here, we may see another move further up. Yep. All right. Any other symbols? Let's see here.
Sorry.
Q&A.
ALAB.
ALAB. ALAB. All right. Astera Labs. Oh, bullish for a long time. 530 trading days bullish. I can see that fighting with this intermediate resistance level. Let me just go back a little bit further. Where are we coming from here in the stock? That's very wavy, huh? Actually, we IPA'd here on. Yeah, very wavy. I personally would be a bit careful. If you count these waves up, down, up, maybe down after. I'm not sure. Unless you think, hey, this might be the start for another higher high, then you might be right. But personally, I would not trade this one. It's a bit too wavy for me in that sense.
Next one is GEHC.
GA
GEHC.
GEHC. Oh, okay. That's General Electric Healthcare Technologies. Wow, they must have had earnings, I believe. And check it out. Drop down to this key support level. Like magic, yeah, it stopped exactly at this level. The trend went bearish. And yeah, it's struggling a bit with all the healthcare stocks, and the entire sector um, is having a difficult time because it's currently ranked last in our sector list. But of course, it's always sector rotation. If you believe in this, hey, what is last now might be higher ranked later on the year, then this stock may get a boost from this, especially since it's hitting key support here. So yeah, um, you know, if you were to trade this, I would my stop right below here at 53 in case it goes further down, and then you could say, hey, maybe we're gonna fill this gap here. At least goes up to 68, ideally even up to resistance here at 85.
The next one is RTX, if we didn't already look at it.
Oh, yeah, we did not. Yeah, I know we had in our newsletters the trade of the week. I'm aware. I'm aware, but the good news is I think there are some signs of stabilization here. So we discussed it. If we were, if you're in this position, I believe some of you are in this position now. I didn't take it at the time. I would put my stop at 165. We're nowhere near there yet, and price seems to have stabilized a little bit. The good news is that the trend, the overarching long trend, is not broken. And this kind of retracement here, how big was it? This correction, just quickly measure it from top to bottom. It was about 20%. Yeah, it's not the end of the world for a stable trend like this. I would stay in it. So yeah, I think this could be the bottom before we see another leg further up.
The next symbol is HEI.
HEI. Oh, Heiko, right? Yeah, this one. Yeah, this was on our list from last week, hitting support right here. And it's with a bunch of liquidity captures. You can see all these shaded little rectangles here. The pullback is quite sizable. You can see it here. The uptrend is nice, but these pullbacks, I guess they tend to happen over time quite a bit. And one thing, let me just measure this real quick. I want to compare this correction here to this one. How does it fit in size or measure up in size? Just real quick. And interestingly, the kind of the time is also the same. Maybe that's one of these seasonal stocks. So here from, you know, November down up until like March, this correction here, it's from June till May. I guess it's not exactly the same. But let me just measure this real quick. From down here to down here, that was 24%, give or take. And the correction here was, yeah, 30, a bit bigger, but still within, no, it's similar. And if you believe, hey, we're going to see a bounce similar to what we saw in the past, then this could be the area to go long here right now.
Next one, GPCR, Structure Therapeutics.
GPCR, no, oh, JPCR.
No, 1 second, it's no GPCR, Structure Therapeutics. I think that's the symbol. GP, yes. Yeah.
No.
Well, I guess we don't have it.
Let's go here on TradingView. Let's check it out. Where did you see it? JPC. Let me just quickly look. 1 second. Oh, Structure Therapeutics. Okay, let's have a look. All right. Oh, GP, yeah, I guess not. All right. So, here, let's have a quick look. Bullish since December 2025. Now hitting near support here with a liquidity capture, yeah? Potentially for a long trade here. The only thing here is that we also have this up gap. Maybe this will be filled, then prices would come down all the way to 29. Yeah. Actually, because of this up gap here, I would be a bit careful with this one. Yeah.
Thank you. And the next one's going to be MXL, Max Linear for a short.
MXL. Yes. For potential, semiconductors. Yeah. I thought also, AMD, Intel, all these semiconductor stocks, which really exploded the last week. Hey, perhaps there will be a bit of a correction coming. Didn't happen. Yeah, they even went further up. I mean, I wouldn't short the stock direct. Let me just see what the option prices are for this one here with my heat index. Just 1 second. Where do we have it? Yeah. 15.95% heat index. Yeah, maybe selling some credit spreads at this price level, anticipating, hey, there might be a correction to the downside coming up. Prices will not at least explode further upwards and stabilize. Yeah, potentially. plain the fact that it's really overbought. There
Thank
might
you.
be a correction. Mhm.
And the next one, Panama Bank, BLX. And Aubrey says Panama Bank has dividends coming up.
Oh, how much did they pay in dividends? Let's have a look. Where is my? Oh, this is the. I'm using actually our staging dashboard here, but it should be the data should be the same as the other one. DivX date, yes, dividends coming up. It does. Does it have? Why is it not shown here? Maybe it's because it's our staging side. Let's quickly see BLX. When are the dividends coming? Oh, no. Second, this one here. Oh, yeah, it does. Oh, yeah, I need to check why this is not listed. On Friday is the DivX date. Okay. And they pay 4.54% dividend, which you could collect if you get into this. And let me just quickly see BLX. Yeah, I like it. For a long trade. Absolutely. So bullish for quite some time. Nice retracement down to this former resistance level, acting as support. I like it. Yeah. Good find, Aubrey. Thanks.
Okay,
Actually,
next.
let me put this into our watch list. So it's a bit of a reminder. But just have to go to this one here. 1 second. BLX. This is just a reminder for myself to check up on this one. Okay.
And the next symbol will be from BAPA, STZ.
All right. Okay. And we also have, I think, from Van after. I'm gonna just do this as well. Okay, Baba. STZ. Constellation Brands. Okay. Check it out. Bearish for 373 trading days. We bounce off resistance here now to the lower levels. Ah, would I go short now? Probably not because we're hitting support here. So perhaps wait for price to come up once again to this resistance level. Maybe use some puts or short this stock. But it would not be my cup of tea for trading. And long for sure not. We're going to clear a downtrend here. Yeah. So let me just quickly look at Intuitive Surgical from Van ISGR. Oops. ISGR. Isn't that Intuitive Surgical? Maybe I'm wrong. ISGR. Oh no, the Iceland government revenues. Is that the one you wanted? No. IS what? Maybe a Van remind me what is that symbol? Which one you wanted to trade? And then we have RRR from Van. This one here. All right. So this is the Red Rock Resorts. Okay. All right. Let's have a quick look. Red Rock Resorts. Where are we coming from? Bullish since July 2025. Correction down after the highs to the support level at around 52. Yeah, for potential long entry at this level could be interesting. Absolutely. Mhm.
And the next symbol, did we look at Palantir yet?
Not yet. And let's do perhaps another 5 symbols or so because I do have a follow-up meeting. PLTR. Let's have a quick look. Palantir. Yeah, Palantir is struggling still, huh? Yeah, but I do see it as an interesting buy, especially if it comes down a bit closer to this level here at 128. It came down all the way to 134 on Tuesday, I believe, or Wednesday. Yeah, interesting for a long, anticipating hey, Palantir is going to recover eventually. So yeah, I like it. Ideally, it comes down a bit further, but then for a long entry, this could be a good idea. Mhm.
Okay, the
All
next one's
right.
McDonald's.
Yeah. Yeah, McDonald's is a nice one too. It was also in our uh when I did my research, a nice retracement down to a support level. And those earnings coming up too. And yeah, I think this could be an interesting long stock. Just make sure that you are aware of the earnings coming up on May 7. And we wait until these earnings are done and then potentially look for a long entry at McDonald's. Yeah. All
Next
right.
symbol, Lululemon.
Yeah. Okay, Lululemon. What a weird name. Lululemon. Okay. Ah, yeah. Also, there's one of these bearish stocks. Not my cup of tea for a bearish trade. Yeah, we just broke below support here. Yeah, I mean, if you want to bet on a continuation of this downwards move, potentially, but for long, no.
Okay, and last symbol is Want to go just so everybody gets a couple requests
Let's do
here.
intuitive
Frank.
surgical here. I'll
Oh,
do real quick with
wow.
because Van was asking earlier, just the symbol was wrong. So I was right, Van, when I said intuitive surgical. It looked familiar to me. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, all these medical companies, they're struggling a bit. My hope is that through sector rotation, we may see a bounce. And for intuitive surgical, yeah, you know what? I kind of like it. Big uptrend move here. Then, or since then, a big sideways consolidation. And see it here between the highs here of 610 around and the lower level here of 420. Huge range. But we are now at the lower range. And if you think, hey, this sideways channel will continue, just move this up a little bit higher, will continue, then this entry point, or ideally just a bit lower, even at 430 around, could be an interesting idea. Anticipating, hey, we're going to see another bounce off the lower end towards higher price levels. Yeah, I like it. All right. And perhaps one more. Let's do VSEC. Just real quick from Heinz in aerospace. Okay. VSE Corporation. Yeah, nice uptrend down to support your liquidity capture. I like it. Yeah, good one. Great. And I think we have intuitive surgical we had, and open, I think is the last one we had. All right. Open. Open. 1 second. Don't have it here. Actually, let me just quickly check it here. Do we have it? What's going on? Did this filter? Oh, there we go. Yeah, I should not use this dashboard. This is our staging side. It's not all the symbols are available there. But okay, open door technologies. All right. Bullish. Big move up to about $10 and a 50%, 60% loss. We hit support here. And now we're trading right near resistance. Going long right now, probably not my cup of tea, right below resistance. Maybe wait for another pullback to like 420, then look for long entries. But at this level here, possibly not. All right, guys. Well, I think this sums up pretty much our symbol request. I hope everybody got at least one or two symbols looked at. And the last thing I'd like to mention before we close out today's session is that, if you want to try out our great dashboard, which you can use every single day, not just on the weekends, to find interesting ideas. I'm really happy with the ideas that we found today. Go to tradingindicators.com/view, try it out for a week. And of course, you can cancel at any time. In that week, you will not be charged. And of course, but if you want to stay on, we have interesting monthly and yearly options for you as well. With this, guys, have a great, great weekend. Try to recharge a little bit, relax. Hopefully, the Habs are going to win hockey playoffs on Sunday. Van, probably don't agree with me, but we'll see on Sunday. And yeah, recharge, and we see each other on Tuesday at our lunch and learn session. And then I think we have live trading on Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. An email will be sent out to you for this as well. With this, guys, have a great weekend. Thanks, Niklas, and talk to you soon. Bye bye, guys.